They've always found me. Animals have always found me. They told me, oh, why don't you foster for us? And I didn't know what they were talking about. Somebody told me that I might like it. A foster takes on the animals out of the facilities, and they personally care for and get the animals ready for adoption. You know, when I have little neonatal babies that I'm bottle feeding every 2 hours, it's quite a bit of time. I work some long hours, so it's very rewarding.
Hello everyone, and welcome back. My name's Kelly. We make videos of us talking to everyday people and listening to their stories. It's amazing the things you learn when you just take time to talk and listen. We met Pam last summer when we decided it was time to add a new fur face to our family. She was the foster for our golden-eyed angel, Luca, and we could tell immediately how passionate she was about animals, cats especially, and what a wonderful caregiver she is. In this episode, Pam tells us about her involvement fostering animals. If you've ever wondered about how animal fostering works, who does it and why, and maybe even how you can get involved, this is the video for you. Pam is a fantastic role model for such selfless work. This is part 3 of Pam's story. In this episode, she explains how she got into animal foster care, why she does it, how she does it, and how you can do it too. It is yet another true tale from everyday life. You've been a foster for animal rescue for many years now. How do you think your early life shaped your love towards animals?
I have always loved animals. You know, we had a Australian Shepherd that found us when we were kids, when we were 4 in the old neighborhood. Unfortunately, he liked to chase and bite the mailman, so we weren't able to keep him. His name was Poochie, but he was my first dog. My first cat was a very furry Persian, lovely cat. Puff, that's how fuzzy he was. And my grandmother was deathly allergic. And so when we moved to Paradise Valley, we didn't bring animals with us, but they've always found me. Animals have always found me, and I was very blessed that I loved horses. And one of our family friends, the same family friend, my folks from college, the fishing people, they rode horses at a stable, and so I was able to start taking riding lessons. And that was also the start of my migraine headaches every Thursday, because I was so nervous and terrified, but I was not going to give it up. And so I was able to ride every Thursday, and eventually it got to be every day because she let me clean stables, and I was able to exercise and show some of the horses that were boarded there. So it was such a blessing. At that point also, this was before I found Booze and Boys. At that point also, some other family friends from my folks in college, they had a vaulting team. And vaulting is gymnastics on horseback. So we started vaulting 2 days a week. Both my sisters and I, and my mother, who was also terribly allergic to horses, she would take her antihistamine and she would go out there, and God, I don't know how my little tiny mother, she wasn't even very strong, but she would lunge these horses from the center of the ring. You hold on to the lead and the horse would trot or gallop along, and my sisters and I would vault. And I was still in vaulting when we went to California to compete nationally, and I won a bronze medal. About that time, Booze, Boys moved out of the house, etc. My sisters continued on. I think they even got a silver medal. I don't know, but it was a lot of fun. But I've always had animals. We've always loved animals, and especially cats. But always had a cat and a dog.
So how did you get into rescue fostering?
Somebody told me that I might like it. And I think I was shopping at one of their thrift stores, or I'm not sure, but it was, they told me, oh, why don't you foster for us? And I didn't know what they were talking about. And that's when it started. Well, yeah, I moved to my new home my habitat home, I had a room, and that's when I started fostering through a rescue.
Can you explain what fostering is?
I work under a rescue. Some of the shelters, they need fosters too. A foster takes on the animals out of the facilities that are all overcrowded, and they personally care for and get the animals ready for adoption. And that's what fostering is. Dogs as well as cats, and I do dogs too. But I'm kind of partial to the kitties, and I specifically like the neonate, the bottle babies, the ones that have lost their mamas, and I seem to have an affinity for that.
What does a typical day look like for you as a cat foster mom?
So right now I've only got 3 little kittens. I've had them, they were born in my house, and the first thing I do when I get up is feed the babies, of course, and clean the litter boxes. I do that twice a day. But playing with them, handling them, the rescue that I work under, they don't have, it's home-based, so they don't have a facility at all. But the gal that kind of runs the rescue, we go to her home she does a couple of nights a week. She has what we call clinic. That's when you can take the animals in, because I'm required as a foster to make sure that they have all of their vaccinations and that they get spayed and neutered on time. And at that point, they go out on the web, and I will interview interested parties for adoption.
Can you tell us a little bit about the interview process? How do these animals find their forever homes?
I have 100% say in where my animals go, because they're my babies. I put a lot of time and effort into them, and you know, I know I can't keep them because I know there are more coming, but I interview my interested adopters over the phone, and you know, there's specific questions I ask them to see if they qualify. If they qualify, then I have them come to my home and meet the babies. I'm looking for someone who hopefully has had experience with animals, but somebody who doesn't just disregard them either. Oh, had to move out of my house, just had to leave the animal behind, you know, that kind of thing. I want somebody who's going to be serious, and they're going to take care of my animal, and provide a loving home environment. Take care of it. I want to know who your vet is. You know, because sometimes pets cost money. Well, pets always cost money, but sometimes, you know, they need surgeries or things happen, and are you willing to take care of it? Who's going to take care of your pet if you have to go out of town, or, you know, I'm kind of intense about it.
What happens when you feel that the people who are interested in adopting aren't suitable or not the right fit for the animal?
Well, it's not a problem for me. I just, you know, I usually have to turn them down on the phone and say, I don't think you're going to be a good fit this time, and hope that they never, you know, are interested in one of my animals again. But yeah, sometimes people are not a good fit. And also, one of the reasons I liked them to come to my home is because I can observe and evaluate them and see how they're gonna, you know, most likely treat the animal, because it's important to me.
Have you ever had an animal returned to you from an adoptive family? How does that work?
Absolutely. I absolutely always tell all of my adopters, if, you know, heaven forbid something ever happens and it's not going to work for you anymore, please get in contact with me. Please don't leave this animal on the street, because it's got a microchip that will, unless you turn it in to your name, it will come back to the rescue, and then, you know, it's a reflection upon me, I feel. The one cat that I've had returned, was a really special little cat born at my house. He was returned during COVID times, and the woman was totally distraught over it, and my son decided it was a gift from heaven, and we kept him. He's my only foster fail. And, you know, he's not perfect for fostering because he's, you know, not a good ambassador for other cats or kittens. You know, sometimes he, but it's okay, and we enjoy him very much. But the other cat that I had returned, you know, I have to be very careful because I kind of want to scold the people that return these, you know, return the animal and say, how could you, or any of that. But I felt like, you know, they gave me their reason, and I didn't say anything except thank you, goodbye, and I found a wonderful home for that baby. And those adopters are my very dear friends to this day.
How much of a time commitment is it for you to take care of these fur babies on a daily basis?
Yeah, it's quite a bit of time. I work some long hours, but luckily my son, who also lives at the house, he's on board, and so is another fellow who rents a room for me. You have to be an animal lover to come to my house because you got to play with these babies. You know, you know, you got to be engaged and pet them, and it's all day. It's all day every day. But when I'm at work, at least they have each other for now. And when I come home, it's all over. We're cuddling. We're, you know, I have a spot right here, and it's fun. I enjoy it very much. And if you don't like animals, we can't associate. We can be friends, but we're not going to really associate, you know.
I know you mentioned last year that you had some really sick animals near the end of the year. How do you deal with that when it happens? And does it happen very frequently?
No, it was hard. You know, things happen, and the situation that I had come to be truly rescuing, it had been a hoarding situation, and they just weren't able to get the care that they needed and deserved. And so I ended up with 4 young, 3 young and 1 adult that were all very unhealthy. And, you know, there's quite a bit of time involved in it as far as medicating them, and, you know, I'm constantly checking their, you know, their elimination to make sure that it's healthy and that kind of thing. But that was tough. That was tough for me because I couldn't fix them, and I'm not a vet. And you know, I sometimes you lose them. You know, when I have little neonatal babies that I'm bottle feeding every 2 hours for 24 hours a day, you know, those babies can crash fast, and sometimes, you know, you lose those, and, you know, that's tough. But with these other cats, it was just really, really hard, and I took a little break from it.
How do you deal with the emotional aspects of fostering?
Yeah, well, there will be more, and I can't save them all. And my daughter also rescues, and we would all love to have a cat sanctuary, you know, where we could just go live. And as a matter of fact, it was kind of fun when we were on vacation. We were in Key West, and we got to go see Ernest Hemingway's home, and he kind of has they have a little sanctuary there for, and of course, besides really loving Ernest Hemingway's works, we all had to go see his place where he had these cats, a lot of 6-toed cats, but we all thought, man, we would love to, you know, we could live here.
For anyone that's interested in getting started fostering animals, what advice do you have for them thinking about what it takes to be a foster for rescue animals, how to get started, where to go for help, how to get advice.
Please do. Please foster. We need fosters. And you know, you don't have to go all in 100%, you know, like I did. But you know, it's important that we don't have enough fosters. And it's not like for me, the rescue that I'm with now, it's a family, it's a community. And they all, we help each other. We give each other feedback, advice. This particular rescue is, they respond when I have a cat that, you know, has eye issues or respiratory issues or something like that. They're typically able to address it. If not, we have a vet that works with us. But it's so rewarding. And people say, oh, I don't know how you can do it. You know, how you can let the animals go, because there will be more. We were trying to figure out how many animals that we've actually fostered, and I couldn't probably count. There have been so many, you know. And I'm not even a full-time foster because I work. So I'm still able to work and foster, but yeah. It's so rewarding though. And other, you know, also, it's not just rewarding for me personally, it's rewarding to see an animal that's going to go to a nice home, but it's also rewarding to meet these people that are going to adopt my baby, you know. It's great. I love it. And we, you know, we do cat shows. We do cat shows, and we'll take some of our cats to the cat show, because even though our cats aren't in the cat shows, these cat shows allow us to show our adoptable cats. So they work with our rescue as well. So it's very rewarding.
Awesome.
And who doesn't love an animal loving on you, you know?